Imagine a world where your words flow effortlessly, your truth rings clear, and your inner voice guides you with unwavering clarity. The throat chakra holds the key to unlocking not just powerful communication, but also hidden psychic abilities that can transform your spiritual journey. Are you ready to discover the untapped potential of your voice, your taste, and sense of smell, and learn how it can catapult your personal growth and spiritual awakening to new heights? You're listening to or watching the Sedona Soul Sister Show, where we share psychic guidance and healing for embodied spiritual awakening. I'm Christel, and I'm on a mission to support spiritual practitioners to access your intuition, unlock your psychic gifts, and live your purpose. A big thanks to our listeners all over the world, and a special shout out and a boost of love to our listeners in Bangalore, officially called Bengaluru. It is the capital and largest city of the southern Indian state of Karnataka. You can schedule sessions in West Sedona or virtual psychic readings, angel readings, starseed readings, Akashic recode sessions, hypnosis, soul contract work, Reiki, purpose coaching, and more at sedonasoulsisters.com. Each breath you take aligned with love repairs the healing web on planet Earth. I am very excited. This is the 5th week of the Ecstatic Empath series in collaboration with the Desire Sessions podcast. Many empaths are unknowingly attuned only to the pain body. This series will support you to have clear boundaries with pain and awaken the channels that fuel the bliss body with ease and grace. If you'd like to receive all of the resources from the entire Ecstatic Empath series, visit Ecstatic Empath and enter your name and email. Take a deeper breath and gently place one or both hands to lightly touch your throat. It can be the front, the back, the sides, whatever feels good for you. And as you exhale, imagine a vibrant turquoise blue light radiating from your throat, clearing any blockages and opening the channel for clear communication, receiving and offering. Set the intention to speak your truth, to listen deeply, to taste fully, and open yourself to the subtle energies of sound, smell, and taste that surround you. This exploration of the throat chakra, the energetic gateway to self-expression and psychic perception, it not only governs our ability to communicate effectively, but also plays a crucial role in developing our intuitive abilities, particularly clairaudience, clairalience, and clairgustance. By healing and balancing the throat chakra, we can unlock a world of clear communication, authentic self-expression, and heightened psychic awareness. Join us as we delve into the transformative power of the throat chakra and discover how it can enhance both your personal relationships and your spiritual journey. The throat chakra is vital to psychic development and intuition for several reasons. It is a communication bridge. It acts as a bridge between the lower chakras, physical and emotional, and the higher chakras, mental and spiritual, facilitating the translation of intuitive insights into conscious awareness. Subtle energy reception. A balanced throat chakra enhances our ability to perceive and interpret subtle energies. A balanced throat chakra enhances our ability to receive and interpret subtle energies. Inner voice amplification. It strengthens our connection to our inner voice and intuition, allowing us to trust and act on our gut feelings more readily. Energetic expression. The throat chakra helps us express our psychic experiences and insights, which is essential for integrating and understanding them. By focusing on the throat chakra, we can significantly improve our capacity for psychic perception, intuitive guidance, leading to a more profound connection with our higher selves and the spiritual realm. The throat chakra is the 5th chakra, called the Vishuddha chakra. in Sanskrit. It opens to the front, the back, above, and below. The sacred sound is Ham, H-A-M. It relates to the element of ether or space. In balancing and using the sacred sound Ham, if your throat chakra is diminished or the energy is depressed, you can repeat the sound Ham more quickly to create momentum and a spinning of the wheel, which is what chakra means. If it is overactive, where you find yourself saying things before you can utilize the power of your mind and heart to support you, you can repeat the sound long and slow, one long hum, to support the energy and slowing down to come into the greatest state of balance. The strengths of the throat chakra: communication, self-expression, truth. And so many of our 6 senses are between the throat chakra and the third eye. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the tongue. So many of our senses are in our heads. So relating to the physical senses to support the psychic and intuitive awakening of these intuitive abilities is an incredible place to work in clarifying the physical senses to more finely tune the psychic and intuitive channels. The challenges with the throat chakra: dishonesty, holding back, and also saying too much without heart, or utilizing the power of the intellect in working together. Thyroid issues, consistent sore throats. Embodied shadow work practices are incredibly helpful in clearing and balancing the throat chakra. Identify suppressed emotions and unspoken truths. And what I call with my clients is getting the poison out. For example, if somebody sent me an email that was incredibly upsetting, I would take time on my own. It could be in my own home, it could be outside, it could be while I'm driving, to literally just get the energy out, to say everything that I want to say and say all the things that I most likely will not say to that person. So it's important to first move the energy so that I can come back into a deep space of connection with the heart, the mind, the body, so that when I do express myself to the person that has sent an email that is upsetting to me, I can do it from a place of deep integration and speaking my truth, rather than lashing out from a place of unprocessed emotions. And then decide and choose what I want to say. If the exchange is happening in real time, meaning if somebody said something upsetting, recognizing the trigger, recognizing I'm upset, and breathing and regulating and pausing before I speak is incredibly important. And then at a later time, if it is happening in person, I can vent and get out all of the things that I wanted to say. But often that kind of communication is a fight state where it can be just lashing out at the person because I felt attacked. Yet that clearing the channels is really important so that the communication doesn't get stifled. But we can choose how to clear the channels to get the poison out, but then come back into a deeply integrated, open-hearted place to have the challenging communication. There are powerful practices that also can be done to move through a spectrum of emotions in the morning, which in the yogic tradition are called the rasas, which are the 9 flavors, which include challenging emotions. And so often in the morning, I'll open all the channels to allow full expression so that as I'm going through my day, I'm not afraid of or repressing certain emotions or holding back things that I really want to communicate. But I learn to allow the movement of energy, the flavors of my emotions to inform skillful communication of those emotions. But especially for women, like women are forbidden in so many ways to communicate healthy anger. So we collapse into sadness because that is acceptable. Where often for men, it's the opposite. Men are allowed to express anger, but they're not allowed to be sad. These are cultural programs developing our capacity to work with the emotional charges and to learn to communicate them in a way that is skillful, that isn't just of repression. I'm not allowed to express my anger. I'm not allowed to express my sadness, but it's learning to move the energy to communicate those challenging emotions from a state of clarity, honesty, authenticity, open-heartedness, which are not just looking to destroy or harm someone else, but learning to create a deeper sense of connection in the clear communication of working with the authentic state of the emotions. Other shadow aspects to work with in the throat is exploring the fear of speaking up, of being judged, of being criticized, of being not liked, of being cast out for what your expression is, what your beliefs are, what you are speaking or teaching. It's so helpful to clarify the ways that we censor ourselves or have been censored by our families or by the dominant culture. And again, learn to utilize the entire embodiment experience to utilize all of the flavors of communication, all of the modes of communication to deepen connection with ourselves in our communities and to connect soul to soul. As I mentioned, I have connected 3 predominant psychic abilities in the throat chakra: psychic hearing, clairaudience, psychic smelling, clairalience, and psychic tasting, clairgustance. Balancing the throat chakra is so important for all of these, as well as our ability to communicate all of our psychic gifts and our intuition, because one of the primary modes of communication is through speaking. There's a few helpful exercises that I have already mentioned in helping to clear and balance the throat chakra. Chanting the sound hum, H-A-M, which is the sacred sound for the throat chakra. Repeating it quickly to amplify the energy in the throat chakra. Hum, 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 hum. And ideally, you can feel the energy and the momentum of me creating those sounds. Or to slow down the movement of energy in the throat chakra, you can repeat it slow, long, drawn out. Hum. To balance and even out the energy of the throat chakra. Also, humming is an incredibly powerful practice for all of the chakras and especially the throat. It's also incredibly helpful to regulate your nervous system, and that can be done in so many places and nobody needs to know. Yet it is a way of calming your system, yet also maintaining the movement of energy in the centers rather than going into a shutdown or collapse state. Journaling exercises, writing unsent letters, which is another aspect of what I was saying before, is like getting the poison out from a challenging situation, is going to your journal and writing all of the things that you wish you could say that you may not. That helps clear the channel. If you are journaling it, you may want to consider destroying it afterwards in some way, like putting it on a piece of paper and not in your journal, so that you can tear it up, you can burn it, you can flush it down the toilet, you can otherwise destroy it to release that energy rather than holding on to it. There are many practices to communicate in challenging situations. And a couple of systems that I personally have studied are nonviolent communication, powerful non-defensive communication, compassionate communication. There are many teachers and systems that bring people together to intentionally learn to communicate in challenging situations. This is one of the most important skills for humanity in moving forward, is being able to agree to disagree, being able to stay in connection, to talk about highly charged subjects without insulting people or questioning their sanity or calling them names or doing many of these things, which unfortunately have become okay in the present culture, especially with social media and the keyboard warriors is saying things online that they would never say to someone's face. This clarifying the power of communication through our throat chakra in being able to stay open-hearted and have meaningful conversations, having meaningful debates, being able to talk about the things that we have in common, being able to talk about our differences is so important. And to me, it is one of the incredible strengths of the throat chakra, is being able to speak, but also to listen to someone else's perspective without it being this disaster of communication, which estranges people, which in so many ways is one of the fundamental challenges we are facing as the human race, is being able to have differences yet live on the same planet together. This aspect of clear communication, clear speaking, and also compassionate listening, being able to communicate that, the throat chakra is supported by the heart, is supported by the personal power in the solar plexus, is supported by our emotional body, is supported by our physical body. When we have built this solid foundation below, we can move into a state of staying grounded in our communication, to seeking solutions when there are differences, to negotiating in challenging situations, and looking for a way that we as humanity can work together to coexist on planet Earth in the best possible way that is in service to the greater good of all. And you may be thinking, how can you personally change what is happening on a global level? Yet how each one of us communicates with ourselves, with our loved ones, with people on the internet, it makes a massive difference. And I believe each one of us, how we focus on creating change in our own lives, creates a bigger, more powerful web of connection on the planet. So in the United States right now, we are in a big election year, which is a highly charged situation. So my invitation to you as we navigate this is, how can you utilize your power of speaking and listening to deepen connection and to create the kind of positive change you would like to see in the world? Because so often what I see happening is people say, well, you don't agree with me, so you don't exist. But that is not the reality, that people who don't agree with you don't get thrown off the planet. Not in 2024 anyway. So the invitation is to look for ways to stay grounded and connected to your heart as you are communicating, being willing to ask meaningful questions. And it takes two to tango. If you are in a debate with someone else, both people in a conversation that's highly charged are in that practice of listening, of speaking truth without intentionally causing harm. And that is rooted in mindful communication practices. I will link some books in the show notes if you want to go deeper into the communication practices that I mentioned that are incredibly helpful. And reading a book is good, and yet, of course, doing the practice and trying it with the people in your life, or noticing when you're reading something online that you might comment. It's pausing to consciously choose how we are using the power of our ability to communicate. Are we creating connection? Are we creating solutions? Or are we stoking a fire that is creating deeper and deeper separation and more challenges for humanity? Expressing creativity in a variety of ways. And of course, this is looking at the throat chakra. The interesting thing I want to personally share about my own journey with my voice. For my entire life, I've had people compliment me on my voice. And I am a singer-songwriter, although I don't sing publicly that often. But for so long, I literally hated my voice. And I do my best not to hate things. But I hated the sound of my voice. And because I've been on a healing journey for so long, I knew that it was an invitation. And I also knew that my speaking ability, my communication with my voice is one of my greatest gifts. And it has been hard won. In another episode, I spoke about after I had a lot of personal family crisis in my early 20s, I was really shut down and had social anxiety where I had a really hard time interacting with other people. Like I could interact to, say please and thank you to the checkout person or to order food at a restaurant. But beyond what was necessary, I was in a really hard and heartbroken place in my life. I was super struggling. And at that time, I felt drawn to go to a yoga teacher training. And at that point, I had been practicing yoga for 12 or 14 years. And I just felt called to become a yoga teacher. And I knew that was the time because it would get me into a retreat setting where I would be practicing 30 days. I would be in community. I would be learning to speak in front of a room. I was the nightmare story of people's fears of speaking in front of a room where my heart was racing, my face turned beet red. I would start sweating profusely, especially in my face. My voice would break. My voice wouldn't come out. My mind would go blank. It was literally like all of the things. It was terrible. And I didn't quit. That yoga teacher training, they were incredibly supportive. It was an ideal situation to work through that for me. Then I became a yoga teacher, and then I started going to workshops and raising my hand at every opportunity to be able to ask questions and to speak into a mic. And then I got training as a public speaker and blah, 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 blah. All of these things that have led me to now, which now people have a hard time believing that I was ever afraid of public speaking because I've produced my own one-woman show. I've done a stand-up comedy set. I've done a poetry slam. I have a YouTube channel and 2 podcasts. I've performed and spoken on stages. And now I've come to a place of great confidence where if somebody said, can you give a presentation 10 minutes from now to 1,000 people? I would say yes, even if I didn't know what the topic was. Yet that was because I was committed. I knew that speaking for me was a path of healing and also a path to one of my greatest superpowers. My intention is to always listen to every episode I create. And at the beginning, when I first started recording my voice, that was so hard for me. So I share this with you because it is not something that came natural for me. It's something I had to work on over decades, and to be in the struggle and to work through it, to now come into this place of power and loving my voice, feeling incredibly confident in my ability to communicate and share with the power of my voice. And that, of course, can be applied to all of the psychic gifts that we've spoken about. Often the one that you feel the most resistant to may be the greatest gift waiting for you, yet it's not going to be easy. Like for me, clearing the throat chakra, creating healing, creating the support and connection of my heart. It has taken a long time to be in this place of power, and I hope my story is inspiring to you. And now transitioning into the self-inquiry questions or journal prompts. A special invitation for this episode is to speak the inspiration that comes through, especially if you feel drawn to strengthen your vocal communication, that practicing speaking and maybe even recording yourself is a powerful way to heal, balance, harmonize, and amplify the power of the throat chakra. How does your body feel when you're holding back from speaking your truth? And what physical sensations arise when you finally express yourself authentically? In what ways has your fear of judgment or criticism influenced your self-expression? And how might your life change if you were to fully embrace your voice? Reflect on a time when you felt deeply understood and heard. What elements were present in that interaction, and how can you cultivate those qualities in your daily communications? Shadow work journal prompts. Describe a situation where you remained silent when you wanted to speak up. Explore the emotions, thoughts, bodily sensations you experienced in that moment, and write a letter to yourself expressing the fears and beliefs that held you back. Embodied shadow work prompts. I want to offer you the same invitation to read these prompts and then allow yourself to act them out in a way, speak them out, move your body, fully express yourself in a place where you have the freedom to do so. Describe a situation where you remained silent when you wanted to speak up. Express the emotions, thoughts, and bodily sensations you experienced in that moment, and imagine yourself back in that moment and speak what you wish you would have said. Recall a childhood memory where you were discouraged from expressing yourself freely. And the same thing, how has that experience shaped your current communication patterns? And how can you give yourself permission to that child part to say, please share with me, speak with me, express your sound, express yourself fully and freely, and do so in a situation today where you have the freedom to express yourself without limits. Thank you for being a part of our community. I'm honored to support your embodied spiritual awakening. If you're feeling a spark of excitement in this exploration of the psychic skills and the chakras, and you're wondering if there's more to life over 40, I have a special invitation for you. I've created the Embody Freedom Method, an 8-week adventurous fitness journey designed specifically for women who are ready to redefine what's possible. It's not just about fitness, it's about reconnecting with your body's wisdom, aligning with your soul purpose, and embracing a life full of vitality and adventure. I want to make sure this is the perfect fit for you. That's why I am offering a free clarity call. It's a chance for us to explore your goals and see if the Embody Freedom Method is the key to the vibrant, adventurous life that you've been dreaming of. There's no pressure or obligations, just an open conversation about what's possible for you. Ready to take the next step? Click the link in the show notes or call me at the center to book your clarity call today. Let's discover together how you can embody freedom and live a life that excites you every single day. Remember, life doesn't stop at 40. The best is yet to come. I'm excited to talk with you. Leave a review and follow on your favorite podcast app. Until next time, breathe gently, listen to your guidance, and create miracles.